Sometimes it seems like the world's just lousy with Priuses, so it's no wonder the Lexus division wanted one of their own. And here it is, the hybrid-only HS250h. Based on the Prius, but a very different animal. You can tell because it costs almost twice as much and burns a whole lot more gas. But it does have some cool tech. Let's check it out. While the HS250h is based on the Prius, it's a different car. The dimensions are different, and right away you can spot that it doesn't have that hunchback look and does have a trunk. Now the fun begins with the pop-up LCD in the cabin. Here you've got the completely new Lexus remote touch interface. That interface on screen and this controller down here in the console. It's kind of a fingertip palm thing, and it has haptic feedback. So as you bump around, for example, on these tiles, you feel it. When you want to enter something, you've got enter buttons on either side of this palm-sized controller right here. Now, of course, the position of the screen and the fact that you've got this nifty controller tells you it's not a touchscreen. It wouldn't be up there if it was. The map quality is really good. You've got large, clear buttons along the bottom here. Doesn't mean that it's the most intuitive, though. I mean, you're going to have to get used to this combination of controller and on-screen icons. And it's a pretty speedy system in terms of getting things entered because it's hard drive based. I've got to say, when it comes down to really small, fine resolution moves like this, I find this remote touch controller a little less than optimal. It's a little touchy. You know, you push it to go to the next letter and then you jump over 2 letters sometimes. Your sources for this guy are relatively advanced, but not all the latest stuff. AM, FM, no HD radio. Your satellite radio choice on Lexus is XM. We have an upgraded head unit which gets a CD and DVD 6-disc in-dash changer with 7.1 surround sound. It's Levinson gear. If you connect a USB drive down here, you're going to get the USB menu to wake up, and readout of track and folder and that sort of thing, including file name alongside track and artist, is really quite good. You've also got a standard analog aux jack down here, and this rig can be used to connect your iPod. And you do have live traffic on this guy because you've got the XM system. That's where they're getting it, XM nav traffic. And we've got a rear view camera here for backing up, of course. That happens when you've got the nav system, which is optional in this car. Without that, no backup camera, obviously. Now, much as this entire car is based on the Prius platform, so is the power plant, but it's a little different. It's hybrid synergy drive, which means you can run on gas engine, electric, or the combination of the both, just like a Prius. And it will run EV mode at low speeds around town for decent distances, you know, part of a mile. But what's different here is the displacement. 2.4 liter versus 1.8 liter on the gas engine side. This car has more power. The downside is it has lower gas mileage. 35, 34 are the numbers, where the Prius, of course, currently gets up around 50. So you're paying for the additional weight, luxury, and performance of this car in reduced fuel efficiency. The HS can be had with a head-up display that shows speed, nav arrows, some audio information, and even images of the steering wheel buttons on the windshield so you can feel your way to them. There's optional lane departure warning technology as well that can also nudge the steering rack to keep the car in its lane. Perhaps most intriguing is the driver attention monitor, an infrared camera of sorts that monitors the direction of the driver's face, and if it senses the driver's not facing forward and the car is about to run into something, it can go nuts with a warning tone and a flashing light to say, hey, look where you're going. On the road, this car has power delivery similar to a Generation 3 Prius, just a bit more of it, but not dramatically so. 0 to 60 is about an 8.5 second job. And like the Gen 3 Prius, I found the HS kind of hard to keep steady at a fixed speed. Something in there tends to pulse and surge. Like the Prius, putting the HS in power mode improves mid-range throttle response, and eco mode goes the other way, making the throttle a little more numb, and it runs the AC system more judiciously. And of course, EV mode makes the car run in pure electric the most often. The driving experience is noticeably more plush than a Prius, as you might expect, and certainly quiet enough to appreciate the generally good Levinson audio rig. In sum, the HS doesn't feel like a rebadged Prius with some nicer leather. It's a different feeling kind of car. That wide-angle front camera can be set to come on automatically when you come to a stop in traffic, and then to stay on till you get about, 3 or 4 miles an hour. And overall, the remote touch interface system is intuitive and easy to figure out, though I do miss having a plain old back button on the controller itself. An HS250h premium trim starts just shy of $38, but to do it up CNET style, you gotta add about another $7,000. Since all the tech like nav, Levinson, the cameras, radar cruise, and that lane departure technology is lumped into a couple of chunky packages. It's a lot to spend on a hybrid with MPG numbers that aren't exactly eye-popping, but for many luxury car buyers, a Prius was just never in the cards.